Hey kids, it's Englentine here with an article that's been making the rounds. Now, I wanted to do this earlier, a few days ago, but I had a couple of big reviews. Secret Empire number 10, America number 6, and Chef Jack and I are going to be doing Savage Dragon 226, where he attacks Trump, and we wanted to do a conservative versus liberal review. However, that's neither here nor there. This is about this particular article, and in it, it appears that Marvel has gone to Teen Vogue to try to recruit new readers. And, you know, there's a couple of ways to look at this. One, it's a brilliant move. Seriously, young female readers, get them hooked. It's really cool that they're trying to promote the women of Marvel. The unfortunate part is they do it from a position of weakness. They do it from a position of victimhood for women, and that is bad. And it kind of hacks off the old farts like me, because I remember this. I remember the women of Marvel being a thing. Not just with this, but you would have it all the time. I think there were, in the 2000s, there was actually a Women of Marvel miniseries. I know they did a Women of Marvel 2 collection. See? Told you. You know what? Usually at the end, I ask everybody to share this video. I'm going to ask you at the beginning, share this video, because there are some things I would like to talk to the assistant editors and everybody who thinks that women at Marvel Comics are victims, or the characters even are victims. I want to address that directly, because in the past, we celebrated the women of Marvel. Now they mourn them. Now they say stuff. Even Alexis Alonso says, hey, you know what? Comic books aren't just for white guys anymore. They never were just for white guys. But for some reason, Marvel needs to play the victimhood now. And it's working because, you know what? We talk about Marvel. Look at my videos on my channel. Count how many DC versus Marvel. Well, not those. But count how many DC comic videos I make versus Marvel videos I make. Why? Marvel gets the clicks. We're all frustrated with Marvel. So they're the ones that everybody's talking about. And one of the reasons why is because they've turned their characters into victims. But look at this. It's all for the male gaze. They're so sexualized. They're timid. No, they're feminine. That's it. They're feminine. Femininity is not weak, and masculinity is not toxic. That is victimhood speech. And that is what I personally, that's my personal message I would like to get out to all the assistant editors that feel that for some reason they're oppressed, even though they've got their freaking dream jobs. Oh, and unfortunately, this needs to be said. We don't care if you're women. Do your job perfectly, and we don't care. Frick, did any of you guys ever hear of Joe Duffy? This victimhood mentality is crapping on the heads of the women that came before you in the industry. That is flat out the truth. And then there's Tom Brevoort, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I've had a couple of long conversations with Tom, and on Twitter. It's not like he can pick me out of a crowd. I'm probably one of a million people that he talks to on Twitter. But point being is he did talk. But what gets me is that he defends the bad writing. He defends the bad art. And he's as old as I am. So he has seen the good. He knows what Jim Lee art looks like. He knows what Alan Moore writing reads like. And I'm not stupid. I know that every writer can't be Alan Moore or Neil Gaiman, and I know that every artist can't be a Jack Kirby or a Jim Lee. But the thing is if you aim that high when you fall short, you're not going to be at the bottom of the barrel. And to Axel Alonso, I would say yes, art sells the books. More so than the writing, because the art can drag us in. The writing keeps us there. But wait for me to get to the point, right? I said this is all about an article. It's 5 minutes in, and I haven't even read word one from it. So here we go. Things have changed within the Marvel Comics universe, and we're here for it. Whereas 7 years ago, there were 1 or 2 female-led books and productions from the comics megalith, now there are 20. And it's not solely due to the creation of a throng of badass new heroines. Carol Danvers, a character previously known as Ms. Marvel, who has been around since the 60s, 1968 to be exact. Marvel Superheroes number 13, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to show off. reigns as Captain Marvel. one of the single most powerful superheroes around. And Jane Foster, who began as Thor's love interest, now holds both the title and the hammer of her ex-beau. You've heard me speak about that, so yeah. In short, girls rule the fictional world. Showcasing great female characters who can stand up alongside of their male counterpart is part of our history, says Sana Amanat, Marvel's director of content and character development. Although comics have tended to cater to a male audience over the years, mainly because we were the primary audience. And even now, the stereotype of the lone nerd in the basement still stands. And that comes from other comic book readers as well. So the problem here is they're talking about inclusiveness as if we were the ones keeping them out. They weren't coming in. And it wasn't until this new age of victimhood, where everybody has to splinter off into their own group and then complain about how somebody else is treating them bad, that anything became an issue. Pick up a book. Read it. Enjoy it. Nobody cares. And you know what? If they write better stories to these female characters they're now promoting, more people would buy them. We would buy them. I would buy them. And I would say, good job, make more. And then they would. The newer heroines take relatability one step further, encompassing a variety of races, ethnicities, ages, and religions. They reflect the diversity of our communities. Marvel is the world outside your window, says Sanaa. We are telling the experiences of people of all backgrounds through metaphor. Take Kamala Khan, who was created in 2013, and personally, I think it's one of the better of these characters. For example, inspired by Sanaa's own upbringing, she is a Muslim American teenager living in New Jersey who struggles with figuring out who she is before ultimately taking over the role of Ms. Marvel. We realized it's a story about identity, says Sanaa. It's about a young girl who isn't sure if she agrees with who people have told her she's supposed to be. And now, see, here's part of the problem. On one hand, yes, teenagers go through this kind of thing. However, usually they're rebelling against the vision of what their parents have for them. And this goes outside. This doesn't say, this is how I was raised, but I want to fight against this. It's saying, hey, everybody else, you guys are treating me bad. And now I have to fight against that. And that's no struggle at all. If somebody is calling you a bad name or saying, something bad about you, yes, it's very easy to fight against that. But if you're realizing maybe I am the square peg in the round hole of my family, that's a real story, because at some point in time, everybody has felt like that. But the way that Sanaa is describing it isn't as relatable, because what she's doing is creating society as the bad guy. So we can't relate to that, because she makes us the bad guy. We are the villain. Other game-changing heroines include America Chavez, who is a Latin American LGBTQ teenager, and Riri Williams, an African-American engineering student at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, who creates a suit comparable to that of Iron Man. Her alias is appropriately Ironheart, yet she's in a book called Iron Man. You're talking about making a female character who's strong, yet you don't believe she's strong enough to carry on with her own name. These new female-led books are doing more than just making comics more accessible. Nothing about America Chavez is accessible. They're showcasing a strong, diverse group of heroines that girls can look up to. However subtly, these stories are breaking down institutionalized sexism and ingraining in all young people the idea that they are capable not only of greatness, but of changing the world. And you know what? Absolutely good for you. Yay. But just write them well. Now, I've got daughters, and when they were learning to read, I gave them books. I gave them She-Hulk. I gave them Power. My daughters loved She-Hulk, by the way. I gave them Power Girl. I gave them Bone. We read the old Archie comics from the 90s. They brought back like The Fly and Jaguar and Comet Man. They loved The Fly. I tried to read them Jaguar. That was the girl, and they were bored to hell, but loved The Fly. I understand wanting to show your daughters a strong superheroine, but they do not write these new heroines as strong. You cannot say that you're a strong individual, female or male, if you are giving your agency to other people. If you believe that all of your troubles or all of the good things in your life come to you because some sort of patriarchy either stops you or gets out of your way, then you don't control anything. And also, they're not strong characters if you have to destroy their male counterpart in order for them to stand out. Spider-Woman and Spider-Man existed for a long, long time at the same time. If Riri Williams can't exist without destroying Tony Stark, Riri Williams isn't a strong character. And by the way, Riri Williams is not a strong character. Just get that out there. But we want them. Bring on the women. Bring on the women of Marvel. Let's celebrate the women of Marvel once again. And the only way you're going to do that is by writing them as people who are women. The women part does not need to come first. The people part, the person, the human experiences, that will sell to everybody. And then people will say, hey, that was cool. Make more. But unfortunately, those at Marvel seem to be more interested in shooting themselves in the foot in order to prove themselves right, that they can't see how wrong they are. Anyway, gang, that's all I got on this. I'm going to start spinning wheels if I continue to talk anymore. What do you think about this whole thing? Let me know in the comments below. See, I'm not afraid of having more female superheroes. I think it's really good that they're going to Teen Vogue for this. Get more readers in. It can only help the industry. Just write them better. But what about you? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, please click like, share, subscribe to see more. Don't forget to hit that notification bell also so you don't miss anything. And head on over to Patreon or vidme.com. And hey, drop $1 in the till. Help us keep this train rolling. If you like these videos, you drop $1. You'll help us to make these videos. We really appreciate it. And we do appreciate everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, thank you very, very much for watching.